Before we start, y'all, what's up? I just want to show y'all my wall. Look at that. I was like fixing it. The only one we missed right now was Ghostface. I'm gonna get one soon, but I just want to show y'all my wall real quick before we get into it. My little YouTube area. I definitely need some like smaller posters, but it is what it is. We got a couple people up here, so. Oh, and yes, I'm pressed. Like it took me forever to like figure out how I was gonna do this area, and I'm still technically like in the middle of trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. So yes, I'm pressed. I just want to show y'all because a lot of these y'all is not gonna see once I get started. So you know, you only gonna see the ones that's like right here in this area. So yeah, why my shirt keep lifting up? Anyway, let's get started with the video. What's good, y'all? How y'all feeling? How y'all doing? It's a new year. I ain't gonna do all that new year, new me stuff, cause man, I don't do all that. It's just, you know, it's a new year. You just want to be a better version of yourself. But no, that's not what I was about to say. We back in the YouTube area, and for those who skipped the beginning, you see, I got it done up. But I just want to say Happy New Year to everybody. This intro is going to be short. All the intros from now on is going to be short. We trying to switch some things up on this channel now. This is the new year. We done made it into our 3rd year. So I had to open up the new season, I guess, if that's what you want to say, of this channel with Stranger Things because it just ended and I want to talk about it. So without further ado, y'all know what to do. Like, subscribe, ring the bell so you know the next time I post. Follow the social medias. Follow the gaming channel. We only live stream over there now. So yeah, if you want to see me playing games and maybe see the family join me, then subscribe over there and let's go ahead and get started with the video. Now that Stranger Things has come to a very beautiful but sad end, people have been posting. This is a show that I've been watching for a while. I was not there for when it dropped in 2017. I was watching other shows like 13 Reasons Why and things like that on Netflix. Riverdale during that time when it was good. And also, I just want to say, excuse my bra showing. I did not know that this shirt would be see-through. When I decided to put it on today, I was trying to go with the theme of Stranger Things because red is definitely a main color. As you can see, my Stranger Things poster in the back as well. So it's definitely, you know, reddish and things like that. So I was trying to go with the theme. Y'all know how I like dressing when I do dress up, according to theme of the movie or like the poster or something like that, because it just looked good. Ooh, Lord. But yes, I was not there for when they did it in 2017. I was watching other shows. I wasn't even there for when they did season 3. I was just kept seeing it being advertised. I looked at Stranger Things with my mom and my sister one time. We maybe got to the middle of the 2nd episode. And we was like, we'll come back to it. And we never did. We never came back to the show. That was it. It was done. Good riddance, right? So then a couple years later, and I'm just like, you know what? Let me check out Stranger Things on my own. And that's what I did. I checked out the show and I really liked it. During this time, this was after we got that little sneak peek of Hawkins in Russia, and season 3 had been off the air for a few years and everybody else was doing all these other movies and all these other projects. I was just like, well, you know what? It looks like season 4 will become a thing eventually, so let me go ahead and catch up. And even that time when I did catch up, I still maybe had like another 2 years to wait before season 4. I had time to show my husband and my mother on 2 different occasions. And I still watched the whole way through and still had time for them to watch all 3 seasons before season 4 started. It's like, that's how much time we had. So watched it and enjoyed the show. So now that it's over and I've seen season 5 and I know that people are giving their opinion on it, I know that people are having their reactions on it, their commentaries, their reviews and all that. I want to have my review on the full series because this is something that I did not react to on my channel. When I did watch it, I didn't even have a channel. Probably not. Y'all remember I got an old channel that was terminated, and I'm pretty sure by the time I was already done watching Stranger Things. And even if I was started watching Stranger Things around that time, that was one of the shows I watched with my leisure time. That was not something that I was gonna react to. Like, I get I'm a reactor, but y'all, I gotta have stuff on my own to enjoy, or else it's gonna start to feel like a job where everything I look at, I gotta react to. There's so many movies I've seen recently that I haven't reacted to because it's movies that I want to have on my own time, you know, or movies I just want to watch without having to put a camera up. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Anyway, so like I said, let's go ahead and get to the full series review. And we're going to talk about... Basically, I know most people, if you're watching this by now, I know y'all done probably already seen the show. Most people wouldn't click on this if they haven't already watched the show. So I'm gonna pretty much give a Cliff Notes version of the series, season by season. Then we'll talk about the people that died and which season was the best, which season might have been I don't think no season is the worst, but you know, a season that could have, you know, needed improvement and things like that. All right, let's get into it. Season 1 of the show begins in the year 1983. It starts with a person in the lab running for something dark and sinister. Dark and sinister. That cannot be good at all. It's already giving you a feel for what type of show it's going to be from the very moment that the show opens. People in the lab are dying. The person you see running, he gets killed. Boom. We're done with that. But you know, whatever that dark and sinister thing is, it's going to come back around again. We're going to see it again. But obviously, we don't really know for sure what it is. Fast forward, possibly the same night. I really don't remember. I haven't seen season 1 in so long. But fast forward, we're just going to go ahead and say same night. It is November 6th, 1983. And we are now in a basement of someone's home where we meet 4 boys. These are the most important characters of the show. We technically open the show with them and we close the show with them. So even though I know some people might say, well, 11's just as important, of course. But like I said, we open the show with them and, you know, all that. I mean, they do have the scene where 11, who's also known as Jane, she's also one of the most important characters too, where she's escaping the lab as well, which, yes, it's in the beginning. But, you know, it's just the most important thing right now is these boys in this basement. We are introduced to 4 new characters. Will Byers, who is the most important of the group, and we have Mike Wheeler, who him and his family is known for walking down a bunch of Demogorgons, aliens of all kinds. They not afraid of nothing. Then we have Lucas Sinclair, our token black guy, black boy, however you want to look at it. And then we have Dustin Henderson. These 4 boys all have their own unique talents, unique abilities. They all bring something to the table in all different kinds of ways. They are downstairs playing Dungeons and Dragons. It was a game that was very, 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 very popular in the 80s. My mother didn't play it. I would say it's probably popular amongst a lot of nerdy people in the 80s and probably a lot of non-black people in the 80s unless they lived in like the suburbs. My mom, she grew up in the hood. They wasn't playing games like that. She also was not a nerd. She was smart, but she wasn't a nerd. Yeah, they wasn't playing games like that in the hood in the 80s. But it was very popular amongst I mean, I don't want to say the community, but amongst society. So, yes, after Will has been caught, it's time for him to leave. It's time for him to go home, and that's what he does. I hope y'all didn't see that. Anyway, he goes on his bike and he's riding home. It's dark, and for some people watching this show, first timers, or you rewatch it again, people who wasn't born during that time, y'all probably like, yo, like, what is he doing riding that bike by himself? I mean, mind you, these kids is probably like 11, 12 years old, no pun intended, 11. But it was the 80s, it was a different time. Parents trusted their kids, that's just how it was. They trusted their kids to get home at a certain time. You know, you get home before the street lights come on, boom, you was good. If you was on the block, after the street light came on, you was in front where they could see you, you was good, you know. And this was around the time when kids was getting kidnapped and you had murderers like Richard Ramirez. I mean, even like the Manson family, all of them was around and all that still. I mean, by this time, they kind of did their dues, and a lot of people was getting caught by this time. We didn't have like Dahmer and stuff like that yet, but you know, you still had a couple of serial killers that were still out, you know, around this time. But parents trusted their kids. They trusted them to make their home safe. And, you know, some did, some didn't. It's just how it was. It's different now. You definitely got to watch your kids a lot more now because trafficking always been a thing, but it's way more serious now. Anyway, conversation for another time. Anyway, so then as he's riding home, he sees lights flickering. He's just like, what is going on? I mean, even us as the audience, we're just like, whoa, what is that? What is going on? He's being chased by something that he can't explain, something weird, but he noticed something after him, and it basically does this cat and mouse thing. It chases him, and he makes it in his little, like, Castle Byers. It's like this little stick thing that him and his brother made when they were much younger. It's supposed to keep you safe and protect you, and that's where he is. He's in there. And he goes in the shed of his house. He runs in there, and that is where he's taken. And boom, I mean, he just disappears. Like, it's not just a kidnapping. Like, this is something that's unexplainable because he disappears. You know, it's weird. So, like, yeah. So then we are now introduced into his mom and his brother Jonathan Byers and Joyce Byers. Don't know why them two got J's and Will got W. I mean, like, not even his father even got a W. I don't know. But, yeah, we're not going to make it a thing. Yeah, we're introduced to them, and they're just like, what, where's Will? Jonathan's like, yeah, I thought he was home. Joyce is like, did you check on him? He's like, no, I didn't. I thought he was cool. Mind you, it's the 80s, so, you know, you're just expecting people to come home and you're all right. You don't have to check on him like now. But, you know, check his room. He's not there. This is now, it's serious, and this is like the main plot for the rest of the show when it comes to Will and his friends. But also, his friends also have another side quest, which we're about to get into right now. But from this point on, Joyce gets the sheriff, Jim Hopper, involved. And she's like, my son is missing. And you know how police are. They're just like, well, you know, let's wait a couple hours. I'm sure he just with his friends or something like that. He'll turn up soon eventually. That's not the case at all. He did not turn up. So we need you to lock in and do your job. And for the most of this first season, it's just pretty much a game of Nancy Drew with Hopper and Joyce looking for Will, trying to figure out where he's at, especially after now speeding forward just a little bit, but like I said, we're gonna do clip notes because if you've seen this, then I mean, you basically already know how it go. Especially after when he's playing with the lights and he's trying to tell his mom, like, I'm here in the house, but not here in the house, if you get what I'm saying. And, you know, she get to buy the Christmas lights and she putting them up and she putting the letters, and he's communicating with her on the wall with the letters and the lights and things of that such. And, you know, she's definitely like, okay, well, my son is alive. Okay, and now it might sound crazy, but my son is alive. He's here. He's right here in his living room. I can't explain it, but boom. So, you know, they're just trying to figure out what's going on. How can you communicate with him? He's really telling you, like, he's alive and all these things like that. But yeah, he missing. We can't find him. Saying he's in the living room right now, but I don't see anybody. So it's just basically a Nancy Drew type of situation with them two for the rest of the season. But then we got his friends doing a side quest where 11, after being chased down by some people from that lab, they're very evil. They're definitely like the main antagonist of the show, besides the military, which have a hand-in-hand, like they're kind of together just slightly. And all the different things from the Upside Down. The Upside Down is the place where Will was taken, where he, once we later on in the show learns that he is being incapacitated by a much stronger, weirder, higher being, but not in the sense of a god. He's not God, nowhere near God. It's just everything in this dimension is just so like you just can't even explain it. It's just another level, another dimension, a whole nother world of things, and that's where he's taken. And he's being incapacitated, and pretty much his body's just being used as a vessel while he's down there. And we learned that the Demogorgon is the thing that took him. It's the thing that was killing everybody in the lab. That's what Elle was running from, but not just that, but also the lab people, lab folks, they're evil. So she's running from them too. And we also learned later on in the series that Demogorgons are being controlled by a much higher power, but they are pretty much our main problem when it comes to non-human threats. Military, lab people, main problem when it comes to human threats, and they continuously become a problem. But the Demogorgon in itself is something completely different. It is literally out of this world, and it is dangerous. They are vicious. You know, they're feral. They're like wild animals, and it's definitely something not to play with. The Demogorgon, it became very popular. I mean, multiple. I think it was only maybe one in the first season. I don't know, but they became very popular. Lots of people wanted to dress as them. When Stranger Things first dropped, I mean, we had lots of people talking about it. They had pictures. Demogorgon's got their own little action figures. I mean, all types of stuff. You know, Stranger Things was like definitely up there with getting their own Halloween mazes and everything. You got people dressed as the Demogorgons and all of that. Like, it was a crazy thing for its time, and even still now it's still popular, so they still do it. But like when it first dropped, like people just love the F out that Demogorgon, so it's very popular. But anyway, like I said, his friends also doing a side quest. Like they're trying to figure out what happened to their friend too, but they're also doing a side quest. And on their side quest, they find 11. You know, they find out she has powers. And for some people, some of them, it's just like, I'm talking about Lucas. It's just like, I don't know, man, I'm not really feeling her. She's weird. Dustin is in the middle. He on the fence about it. He can't really make heads or tails about everything. But Mike is just so in love with this girl. Like, he's just like, I don't give a F how she look. If she got powers, if she's dangerous, if she can kill us, I don't care. But he see it as a win-win because he's just like, look, we nice to her. We take her in. All of that, help her do everything. She said she can help us find our friend and everything like that. So it's a win for us. We getting bullied, and she can definitely like kill our bullies, which she doesn't, but she definitely like hurts them. So yeah, that's how he's seeing it. So they doing that. They with Elle, and they trying to find Will and keep her safe from the lab folk and all of that. So it's basically a cat and mouse game with those four. You know, just trying to stay out of the hands of the lab, not contact the Demogorgon, keep her safe while also finding Will at the same time. So yeah, then we get introduced to the last three important people of the show this season, which is, well, we already got introduced to Jonathan Byers, but he's very important to the story as well. Nancy Wheeler, who is Mike Wheeler's older sister, and Steve Harrington, who is the boyfriend, but also becomes the ex-boyfriend of Nancy Wheeler. They are playing a Nancy Drew type of game as well, trying to figure out what's going on in this town with people disappearing. Jonathan's brother disappeared, and Nancy's best friend Barb disappears, who actually got murdered, but it's unbeknownst to her. It's just like she went missing. So she's just trying to figure out, like, what happened to my best friend and things like that. So that's pretty much the gist of the first season. They defeat the lab folk. There's this evil man named Papa. That's who 11 calls his. I don't even remember his name. Don't really care. But I mainly know him as Papa. And yeah, he's evil. He just always got these weird ulterior motives when it comes to like the specially enhanced children. And you know, he's defeated for the season. He isn't dead, but I literally don't know how he survived being attacked by a Demogorgon. But he's defeated for the season. We defeat the Demogorgons. everything's cool. They find Will. Everybody goes back to normal, and 11 just disappears. She's gone into the woods. She's homeless right now. She doesn't have any family, doesn't have any friends. So that's just where she's living now until season 2. So now let's get into the second season then. Now that Will is back, we are now in season 2 of the show. And I have to say that season 2 is definitely one of my favorite seasons of the show. And I don't have that many. It's literally, I only have 2 favorite seasons. The other 3 is just, I'm just watching because I want to finish the story and I really like the show. But season 2 is definitely one of my favorite seasons. And now that Will is home for season 2, there are some stranger things happening.
Really, nigga?
Still, everything's cool for a while. Everybody thinks that everything's fine. Just like, we got a break, we got Will back. Remember when everybody said like he was dead, but he wasn't? Turns out it was just a fake body and things like that. And like I said, we're doing Cliff Notes version, so I didn't mention that in the first season because if you're watching this by now, then you should already know that they faked his death, the lab people and things like that. We just stating out just a few facts. I don't want to, go through the whole thing. I mean, it's 5 seasons. I don't want to be talking about this forever, but that's what we're here for. You got to dedicate the time to talk about it. But like I said, it's a very popular show. A lot of people seen it, and most of y'all, if y'all watching this video, then that means that y'all already most likely have seen the show. So I don't really got to explain too much. And if you're new here and you haven't seen the show, then obviously this is spoilers for you. But everything that I missed or left out will definitely be something that you catch when you watch the show. If you watch the show, or you can always watch the recaps if you just don't want to watch the show. It's up to you, but most of the stuff that I'm saying is already known anyway to people that's going to be watching this video, so I don't really need to give like a full rundown of everything. But he's back and they're having a good time. He's back with his friends and they're doing a thing. They're playing the video games, they're playing the board games, and it's just everything. Life is good right now. Nancy and Jonathan, they're not together yet, but they're hanging out. They're cool with each other, and you can sense the chemistry. You can sense that they want to say that they want to get together, but it's just like, no. So, that's something that's cooking up this season as we return to the show. And, we got 11 who's now on her own still, and she's living in the woods. It's a sad case. I mean, the girl's literally like 13, 12. I don't know. I don't even remember her age by this time. But she's young, and it's a sad case that she's out there living on her own. She's just getting it out the mud, eating what she can find, squirrel or rabbit, whatever. And she's using her powers to, kill these animals. If she sees people in the woods and they're just like, which happens, somebody sees her and she knocks them out, things like that. Like, she's just trying her best to try to just hide out and not be seen by anybody. But this season is where we're introduced into a new character who's also very important and makes it all the way, surprisingly to me, makes it all the way through the end of the show. His name is Murray. He knows a lot and he's a lot of help. And he talks to Hopper. He finds Hopper and he's just like, look, I don't think what we're knowing down in season 1 is completely over yet. I'm hearing people say that we got some Russians out here, like Russian spies and stuff. I don't know how true it is, but maybe we should look into it. Of course, Hopper doesn't believe him, but he's also like, but I did also hear about it's a girl, she in the woods. And he's just like, what you talking about? And it's like, a little girl with abilities. He already knows, like, what he's talking about. He's run into her once or twice in the first season, so he's already aware of who he's speaking of. He's the one that goes to find her in the woods, and he basically takes her in. He's now like her adopted father, surrogate father now. She trusts him a little bit right off the bat. Luckily for her, he has pure intentions. He's a good guy. He's a good person. He just wants her best interest at heart from every season up into, from here up until, the end, and even now. With the show being over, he just wants her best interest at heart. He grows to love her over time. But yes, I thought it was a nice gesture that he took her in and things like that. He cooks for her. She loves waffles, so he makes her a bunch of like Eggo waffles and things like that. I hope she got the buttermilk version because the buttermilk version is the best. But waffles is waffles. But anyway, so now that she's with him now, of course he has to keep it a secret. He can't let people know that she's here because there's these lab folk, they just connected into a lot of stuff. So them folk in that lab might have disappeared, but then there's going to be people that they were talking to and people above them that's going to be like, all right, well, this lab shut down. Okay, now let's go see what's up. We need to go figure this out. And boom, there's just more people that was part of the lab that just wasn't working there that, now they, boom, So with all that being said, he can't tell anybody that he got her. But, eventually the cast finds out that 11 is around and she's with Hopper and things like that. He contacts Joyce for help because all this weird stuff is happening again. And not only that, but Will has these weird senses. And, he does this thing where he's like, this. And it's just, sometimes he's just not himself. He just acts weird. And this happens throughout a couple of episodes where you just have these flashes of just standing there or doing this, having flashbacks of when he was down in the Upside Down. And eventually it kind of just consumes him and take over for a brief time. And during season 1, he has spit out a piece of what was incapacitating him, and that went down the drain, and that is something that we're going to see this season. And so we learned that there is still a piece of whatever it was that was incapacitating that's inside of him still, even after he even threw that part up, and it's controlling him. And he's all like he likes it cold, he doesn't like it hot. And it's just like, this is weird. What is going on? Joyce has a boyfriend now that like he doesn't know completely everything that's going on. It's Bob. I love Bob. Great character. Wish it would have lasted longer on the show. He definitely became a much important asset to the team in season 2. Pulled his weight and did what he needed to do in season 2. And he's played by Sean Astin. If you don't know Sean Astin, he is a legend. He was in Lord of the Rings. He was in the Goonies. He was in a lot of things. He's a legend, okay? He's legit. He an OG. And I love Sean Astin. So, yes, love Bob. He ended up helping eventually. And, Murray, Nancy, and Jonathan, they're doing their whole thing, trying to figure out what's going on with this Russian military stuff and things like that. And eventually, yes, Nancy and Jonathan does get together after they had doing this whole like will they won't they thing. They do eventually get together this season, and things of that such. And we have to deal with the lab people again because, like I said, it's just you cut the head off one and another grow in this place. That's pretty much how it is. So, we have to deal with that, and we're just trying to figure out what to do. We also get introduced into 2 new characters, who one becomes a pain in the ass, and the other one is a very much great asset to the team and becomes one of the most important characters in some of the later seasons. We get introduced to step siblings Max and Billy. Billy, he is abusive towards Max. He is evil, but all the girls think that he's hot. He's sexy. He drives a fast car. He got the little mullet. It's kind of curly a little bit. He's a bad A. He got the bad A clothes on, things like that. You have Max, who just gets abused by her brother. He's just evil. And I know why he does it, because his father does it to him. And that's his only way of like letting out his anger by doing it to someone else. But she's cool too. She skateboards. She's like one of the guys, and she's suspicious of the group in the beginning, but eventually, she sees what's going on and she end up helping. We also get introduced into a demo dog. We get introduced into multiple demo dogs, which we learn is the thing that will blew up in the sink. and Dustin finds him and names him Dart. We also get a team up between Dustin and Steve this season, which creates the foundation of their brotherhood and their best friendship that they have throughout the rest of the season. It is actually one of the best foundations of the show with them two, especially with the last season happening and them kind of having a rough patch with each other and then reconciling and things like that. It's definitely one of the like stronger aspects of the show. So yeah, all that's going on. And then, you know, one day they just decide like, yo, he's tripping. We need to get the heat on him because, you know, he said he doesn't like cold. That also means that, you know, he likes it hot. They have him in the heater and things like that. And so they decide to burn like a Demogorgon or something like that. And Will can feel it because he's tapped into the upside down now since he's been there. And it hurts him, but you have to do what you got to do. And piece of like that soul, the particles from, you know, what was inside of him, it's gone. And we now learn that there is a mind flare where it's like this big spider looking thing, but it's like a shadow spider looking thing. And Will's like drawing pictures of it. And then he's drawing like pieces of pictures of it and then connecting it and then figuring out what it is. And yeah, you know, they defeat the Demodogs, but unfortunately we lost the life of Bob being attacked by Demodogs, and we would have lost the life of others, but Dart, who was being fed by Dustin, loves nougat, and he gives him one and he lets them go, and that is the end of all the Demodogs until season 5, which I think is when I don't remember seeing them in season 4, so I'm just gonna say I think it's when we see them again. So yes, now we're done with that. We beat the mind flare. Hopefully we're good now, but unfortunately we're not. And the show ends with some weird Russian stuff going on. Turns out Murray was right all the time. There is some weird Russian military-ish happening secretly in Hawkins. And yeah, that concludes season 2. Now let's get into season 3. Now, season 3 is my favorite season. I don't know why. I just like the season. I really can't explain it, but I don't know. I just do. Ever since I seen it, I'm just like, this is the one for me. Like everything about it was just like, except for, I mean, certain scenes with the Russian military, I was just like, trash. But overall, it was great. So now it's summertime. It is a new year now. Everybody's having a good time. But that is short-lived because we have problems. More and more problems. You know, every season it's something. And now we have Russian military to worry about because they're doing some weird things in Hawkins underground. They don't need a lab now because if it's above ground, then we know that the team is just going to find out what's going on, you know, and they're going to crack the case. So they figure if they go underground, they won't figure it out. But like, come on. You know, let's be for real. This is the team of the Stranger Things. Somebody gonna figure it out. So yes, that's exactly what happens. They figure it out, and it actually takes the team up of Steve Harrington and a new character that we're not introduced to, which she's very smart and she helps out very much a lot. His arch nemesis in her eyes, not his, Robin Smith, and they basically take down the Russian military. Pretty much, they crack the code, they go down, they figure out, they learn that people are speaking in Morse code, they have bigger pictures, they've been hiding this stuff for a very long time. They figure out that the place where the Russian military is actually under the mall, and they even use the help of Lucas's little sister, Erica Sinclair, for help because she's also very smart as well. So they use her help as well. So for the duration of the season, they're just handling all that business right there. They're just cracking down the code with the Russians and doing what they need to do. You know, even Steve, you know, takes down a couple of them. Of course, they knock him out and things like that, but even he takes on a couple of them, like he's doing his thing over there. And we have over here Billy, who is now being possessed by the mind flare, and he is luring people in to create a live action version of the Mind Flayer. This is the Mind Flayer, but it is now in physical form. And that's exactly what happens. And he becomes a problem for the rest of the season. I know it's the Mind Flayer. I know it's the physical form of the Mind Flayer. But I like to call it clustering. That's what me and my sister call it. We call it a clustering. And I'm going to explain what that is. A clustering looks like it's just like a cluster of nasty things. We actually got the name from Clay Jensen and Justin Foley from 13 Reasons Why. You know, they were brothers on the show, and when you put them together, you know how they have ship names? When we put them together, they're clustering when you ship them. And we were just like, I don't like it. It's so nasty. And I was like, you know what? The Mind Flayer looks like a cluster. So every time we see that Mind Flayer, we just call it clustering. We don't say Mind Flayer. So yeah, we just be like clustering, you know. So yes, from now on, this point forward, if you hear me saying clustering, I'm talking about the physical form of the Mind Flayer. So yes, we got clustering just going around Hawkins, and he's just causing all types of havoc. He is a mess. And you know, the teenagers, you know, they are teenagers now, and you know, they're living their life, they're trying to do their own thing, but they get caught in the middle of, you know, Clusty and his shenanigans. So of course, you know, Elle got to do her thing and use her powers and things like that. So you know, she does what she does. And then also we have Joyce and Harper, who's also, you know, cracking down this whole Russian military thing. And we have Murray, who's also helping cracking down this whole military thing. And they have to protect this guy who was working there, working with them, and he has like all their secrets. His name is Alexei. He's a very lovable character. He speaks only in Russian, and Murray is like the only person that understands him, so he's just basically used as a translator. And you know, he's just like, I got the secrets. We're like, well, let's go. Like, let's use him to expose the Russian military. But, you know, we have to keep him safe. And that's what they're doing. It's pretty much like a princess protection program type of thing that they got to deal with throughout the show. But unfortunately, the Russian military catches up to Alexei in the show and kills him. So all the secrets that he have about the Russian military and everything that they got going on, everything that has anything to do with the Upside Down, any experiments they're doing on people, just like the lab in Hawkins, anything like that, is just, you know, it's gone now. It's done, and you just gotta hope that he told Murray everything that he knows, so that we can kind of get this to shut down and things like that. So we have to go with Plan B, and Plan B is to just attack the Russian military head on. Which Harper, he's an ex-military. I mean, he's a vet, ex-military. He's going to do that anyway. That's just what he does. He attacks everybody head on. And so he does that. He attacks them head on. And yeah, he gets the work done. He kills who he needs to kill. He shoots. He fights whoever he needs to fight, whatever. And before it ends with him having to sacrifice himself, we do have this big mall fight between the teenagers, Nancy, Jonathan, Steve, Robin, everybody, and Cluston. And we have this mall fight with him, and everybody's just teaming up on him. And I do think that the mall fight is definitely one of the best scenes in the show. I actually probably gonna go back and rewatch it, just because it was just so great. And they do defeat Cluston. 11 does defeat Cluston, but not before Billy sacrifices himself to save Max. And 11 gives him a part of his mind back that he missed because his mom passed away. And, you know, Max's mom is now his new mom. So his dad got remarried, you know, things like that after his mom died. And that's why he's been so mean as well. And it's also, I think, why his father hit on him as well. Might be part of him to still miss his wife, even though he has a new one. But yeah, she gives him a piece of his mind back. She gives him some peace of mind. And he sacrifices himself and he dies. And of course, even though Billy and Max weren't close, it definitely hits her really hard when it happens. But it is defeated. I mean, it does stick a part of itself inside of 11, and this causes her to lose her powers when she has to literally take it out, because it's like digging in her skin. It's like trying to become part of her, and she uses up all of her powers, you know, for this. So she doesn't have any anymore. I did forget to mention that her and Mike are a couple now, which I don't know how I really felt about them as a couple during this season, but yeah, they're a couple, and Harper doesn't even like it. But by the end of this, everything's cool, everything's good. You know, Will can breathe. He's not doing that thing anymore right now. Everybody's having a good time. But Harper does sacrifice himself into this like weird vortex portal thing, and to us it looks like he died, but he just teleports to Russia, which makes sense because Russia military, obviously. And he's in love with Joyce, and this hurts her because, you know, they're finally starting to kick things off. I think they probably even kiss or something like that. I can't even remember. So, you know, this hurts both of them because he has to leave 11, he has to leave Joyce, maybe even possibly die. You know, she has to see him leave, and she's definitely falling in love with him too. You know, that's her boyfriend, I guess, or somebody she wants to be her boyfriend. So, you know, yeah, and he's gone. But we end the season off with everybody pretty much happy. I mean, Billy dies, and it definitely takes a toll on Max. But everybody's kind of just chill. Nobody's super happy, I would say, but everybody's content with, you know, what happened and with what's going on. And Joyce, Jonathan, 11, and Will, they moved to California to get away from this town, Hawkins, Indiana. I understand completely. I would have been moved after the first time when he came back, but it is what it is. They're gone, and boom. Everybody else is just going to live a normal life without Will and 11 there. And 11 and Mike are just going to have a long distance relationship, and everybody else is just going to kind of just, you know, do them. And that's exactly what happened in season 4. So let's go ahead and get into season 4. Season 4 takes place a few years after the first season. And like I said, they're in high school now, they're freshmen. And, you know, you can definitely tell that they've aged, you know, because this is what happens when you take 4 or 5 years to come out with another season. Like, this show has been almost on for almost 10 years, you know? So it's just wow. But I don't know the reason why. It is what it is. Anyway, so they're back, they're in high school, they're freshmen now, and everybody's doing their own thing. Dustin and Mike are in this like, they're in this thing called Hellfire Club, which is ran by a newest character that we get introduced to named Eddie Munson. And he is definitely a highlight of the season, but not, I wouldn't say of the show. He was talked about everywhere when season 4 aired. They just loved how Joseph Quinn looked. That is the actor that played him. They loved his face. They loved everything about his character, how ditzy he was and things like that, how bad he looked. So it was ran by him. They were in the club, but they were estranged with Lucas now that Will has been gone, and he's been having problems with his girlfriend as well. Him and Max haven't really been, you know, they haven't really been that close since Billy has died. It's really took a toll on her. Having to see him die, but just the fact that he's gone in the first place. So he's estranged with everybody, but he is on the basketball team with some of the worst people in the show, some of the worst teenagers in the show. So yeah, he's good. He's real good. He plays. He's doing his thing, you know. He's black, of course. And I'm glad that they actually had him do something that black people actually do, especially in the 80s, and that's play basketball. Some people might think it's racist, but honestly, I think it's spot on with black kids in the 80s. So yes, thank you for giving us a little bit of representation when it comes to the sports. So yeah, it's just, you can tell things are not right. Then we go to California, and you have Jonathan, he's a pothead now. He hangs out with his friend named Argyle, who also for this season becomes a vital part of the season. He helps out a lot, but we only see him for this season. Don't know where he went. I guess he just stayed in California, things like that. We don't see him anymore. But yeah, he's a vital part of the season. So Jonathan just gets high a lot with him. And 11, she's dealing with Hawk being gone. It's hard for her. Joyce is hard for her with Hawk being gone. She's just like, I know he's alive, and I'm definitely going to try to find him. Will, he's trying to live a normal life, live as a normal teenager now that he's in a new place. People don't know him as a bully. That's what they called him after finding out that he came back to life, even though he never died. But things of that nature. So he's just trying to live a normal life now and not just be judged. Nobody knows about what happened in Hawkins or anything like that. But doing it all, 11's getting bullied, which is crazy. I mean, I know like her boyfriend and everybody else got bullied as well, but just to see her getting bullied, it definitely hurts to see that happen. And I was telling her side on everything. She does get her bullies back, but that's after embarrassing herself. The Hey Angela thing, oh. Can we treat that like the we don't talk about Bruno type of thing? Because I hate to talk about it. I was embarrassed for her, and I'm still embarrassed for her. It was like I was there and I knew that she had powers, but it didn't work. It's just like, ooh, Lord. But she did get her back with a roller skate, and I think, hey, it's valid. It's a valid crash out to me. I don't know what to tell you. So it is what it is. Anyway, so yeah, her and Mike are having a long distance relationship, and I mean everything seems to be fine other than the fact that it's a long distance relationship. So he does come see her, he does come visit her, and that's pretty much where Mike stays at from that point forward for the rest of the show. And this man, he couldn't irritate me enough during this season. The neglect of Will alone pissed me off, but the love. Something about the love for 11 this season just really irritated me. I don't know what it is. I just didn't really like them together until the last season. So, that's that. So, what's going on now? It's a new season, so obviously it's a mess. Well, we got a couple of teenagers dying. Eddie sees the first teenager she gets killed. Her name is Chrissy. Not very all that important. I mean, she's like on the first episode. However, her death is very important because since he was with her and he's seen it when it happened. Now, this is a death that is very unexplainable. You can't even describe what happened if you want. You could be like, she hit the ceiling and her leg broke and her arms broke and all this other stuff, and then she just died. This is like, okay, this man smokes way too much. So you can try to explain as much as you can, but nobody's going to believe you unless they already knew what was going on in this town, and a lot of people don't. So nice try. Eddie is suspect number 1 on the murder list, and she is dating the worst teenager in Hawkins. His name is Jason. He is horrible. Him and his basketball players, they're like, yep, he's the killer. We're going after him. They got their imaginary pitchforks and fires and all that, and they looking for this man. He's hiding out, and he finds Dustin and he finds the rest of the team, and they're just like, he tells them what's going on, and they're like, we believe you, trust me, we believe you, like we've been through some crazy stuff, you have no idea. So they recruit him, he's joining the team, and they have to crack the code, figure out what's going on. In the meantime, more teenagers are dying. One of the basketball players dying, who, if you don't know, is actually very good friends with Caleb McLaughlin. They were in the New Edition story together. He plays Ronnie and Caleb plays Ricky. So yes. Anyway, back to this. Another team dies. Someone that knew Nancy, he also gets killed. They all get killed all in the same way. And we come to learn that they were killed by somebody named Vecna. Vecna is someone who was always there, hidden in the shadows, no pun intended because of the mind flare, and was controlling the Demogorgons, controlling the Demodogs. He's the one that took Will, when Will was on fire and everything like that, not physically, but in his, like, he can feel it in his body. it's because he is tapped into the mind of Vecna and everything like that. This is what we learned. Vecna, besides Eddie, Vecna is also somebody that becomes very popular this season. Like, Vecna's talked about everywhere, shirts, all of that. I mean, literally, look at the poster. Like, you can't really see it too much from where the camera's angled at, but like, you know, he's even at the top. And then obviously it makes sense because like, he's the main antagonist. But, you know, it was just, he was everywhere. People was doing Vecna makeup, all types of stuff. Jamie Campbell Bower, or whatever his name is, he literally like blew up more than he ever has. And he's been active forever. A lot of people were just like, oh my goodness, I didn't even realize that was the guy from Twilight. And I'm just like, y'all really didn't know. It's like, he still looked the same despite his skin very pale in Twilight and his hair was like much blonder in Twilight. But I definitely noticed. I didn't need to see a video to be like, oh my goodness, that's him. But yeah, that's the blonde, one of the Volturi from Twilight. So yeah, but he just got super popular after that. Like I said, he's always been acting, but this right here, it put him on the map for real. Like, a lot of people did not pay attention to side characters in Twilight, so he definitely didn't get the recognition that he deserved. But this definitely gave him the recognition that he deserved. So yeah, Vecna's killing people, and they soon learned that his name is also Henry Krill. Sorry, his name is Henry Krill. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. And he is the first telekinetic psionic being to exist, as they know, because there could be people in other cities, other towns, but as of Hawkins, Indiana, he is the first psionic telekinetic being. And we learned that he also worked in the lab where Papa was, and he is called One by Papa. He gives them numbers, not names. And yeah, so he uses his power to create other psionic beings. He tortures him and all this type of stuff. I actually really felt sorry for him. And this is after his family dies, which we end up learning that Henry himself killed his family except for his father, and the only reason why his father snapped out of it is because his favorite song played, so he was able to wake up. However, it left him blind. So yes, Nancy and Robert, however, do go visit him, and his father's played by no other than the legend Robert the Freddy Krueger England. Okay, the legend, Nightmare on Elm Street. Okay. Yes, and he talks to him about the story and tells him what's going on and things like that. And we get a nice little cameo from Robert Englund, and we don't see him anymore. I really wish that they would have put him back in season 5 so he can come collect his son. But, you know, to see Robert Englund still alive is just such a treasure in itself. And they did definitely have, like, between, you know, Papa and the other guy from the lab, he was in Aliens, and like the lady Linda Hamilton in season 5 to play Sarah Connor, and Robert Englund and Sean Astin, like to bring back those iconic 80s actors, like they were hot during that time. It's just amazing to have them on the show, and even more nostalgic to even have them on the show, especially because it took place in the 80s where they were really, really, really hot. It's just amazing. It's such a fresh breath of air. But anyway, so back to season 4. You know, we have to stop Vector now because it's like, well, he's after one other person. Who could that be? And they found out that he's after Max. She's having these weird dreams, these weird feelings, headaches, nosebleeds, all types of crazy stuff. And it's like, we have to protect Max. It works in the beginning. He does take a hold of her, but because of her favorite song, which is very, very, very popular now, Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush, she awakens and she's fine for now. But we got Jason and his basketball goons on the loose looking for Eddie, and we're like, we gotta go in the Upside Down and we gotta go find this man and do stuff. So no, we got the teenagers, we got Steve, we got Jonathan, we got Eddie, we got Robin, and now we have Nancy. They're in the Upside Down trying to look for Vecna, trying to find a way to stop it. And then we get introduced to these Demobats that attack Steve. Steve holds his own. He's doing very well and he's good. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for Eddie because eventually he sacrifices himself and the Demobats kill him, which I definitely thought that he will return in season 5, but no, he is actually dead. So yeah, and this takes a toll on Dustin a lot because he was really close to Dustin. Now that he's in high school, him and Steve were close-ish now that he's in high school, but he was definitely starting to create a very good, nice friendship with Eddie. So his death took a very hard toll on him, which we will see in season 5 real soon. So yeah, they do that up until, you know, Vecna's finished on what he does. And in California, they learn of Vecna's evilness, his plans. So eventually, 11 gets her powers back with the help of Papa and the other lab dude. I can't remember his name. So they give her powers back. Papa, however, does not make it because he is killed by the military. They're just always in the way for some reason. And they handcuffed the other doctor, I forget his name. So we just don't know what happened to him. I'm just going to assume that he died down there or something. I don't know. But yeah, she gains her power back. And she's now back in her mind, doing her powers, doing everything she's doing. And she's like, look, I can't fight him physically there, but I can fight him in my mind. I can fight him in his mind. And that's what she does. She fights him in her mind, in Max's mind, in his mind, something like that. So they defeat him. But it does leave Max crippled, blind, and in a coma. Because for the second time he comes for her, Jason steps on her Walkman and her song turns off, and now she has no way of waking up. Mentally, in her mind, she is trapped in, you know, the place where Vecna had her, and there's just no way for her to have a reason to pull herself back into the real world consciously. So boom, that's it. They do, however, save her at the last minute, so he does pretty much kill her, but like I said, they save her at the last minute. They kind of resuscitate her and bring her back, but she's blind now, and her arms are broke and her legs are broke, and she ends up in a coma for the rest of the season. Even in season 5, for a pretty good part of season 5, she is in a coma thanks to Vecna. But 11 does defeat him, but he does disappear, and you know, Will, he's just there for now. He definitely becomes like a very much important part of season 5 when it comes to Vecna's story, but he's just there this season. He goes through a lot of emotions this season because some people say that like him being gay was always there, but me, I literally did not catch it until season 4 of him possibly being gay. And he has feelings for Mike, but Mike's desperately in love with 11, and that's actually what irritates me, because like you're neglecting your best friend, and you're saying like the best day of your life was when you met her. It's like if your best friend would have never went missing, you would have even met her, and I feel like that's just kind of very effed up to say, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, Mike really just irritated me this season. But yeah, they are in their thing and they do what they do. Meanwhile, we do have Joyce and Murray, and they go find Harper, and he's in Russia. He's in a Russian prison, and he tries to escape, but they do get there, and eventually they escape, not before having to fight a couple of Demogorgons in the lab and things like that. But Joyce finds her man. She does. She finds her man, and they're all good. They all go back and boom, now on Hawkins. However, Vecna, since he killed Max, he does split Hawkins into 2, so it's kind of like this now. And people are just kind of just like, this is an earthquake, but it's not. And now the people of Hawkins have to live like this probably forever, like with the ground like this. I don't know if they're going to try to put it back. I mean, by season 5, I think they did, but yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Max is in a coma, Hopper's back, 11's with her dad again, Joyce is with her man, everybody's cool, everybody's good. They move back to Hawkins, everybody's fine. Then we go into season 5. Now, because of Vecna being defeated, like I said, he's very strong and powerful. He's just out of this world like every other thing he disappears despite him being defeated by 11. But now we're on the hunt for him. Everybody's like, let's get ready. Everybody, this is the first time where everybody's like really locked in completely. Because they're like, we're going after this man. And that's what they're doing. They're trying to find any way to find him, find the portal, find the best way to contact him, get him, and things like that. And yeah, you know, everybody's doing what they can, pulling their weight. You know, everybody's living a normal life, but they're also all locked in at the same time. Like they're all, for one, actually as one this time. And yeah, they're like, we're going to find this dude before he finds us. So it actually made me really happy and excited to see that everybody is really, really, really together. But they don't have to look too far because Vecna is sending Demogorgons in to kidnap children from Hawkins. He needs 12 children, and he kidnaps the first, which is little Holly Willard, and Lord, her mama puts up a good fight. She does. I mean, Karen walking down Willard tries her best. I mean, even Tim, he didn't know what that thing was, but he at least tried to swing, and we gonna let him have that. We gonna stop getting on Tim for that. Y'all wanna say, oh, he did a little swing or he was playing golf. At least he tried. They count for something. So let's get off my man back about this. He tried. So yeah, they ended up in the hospital because of it, and he was able to take Holly. But she does in the upside, well, she's not in the upside down, but we learn later that she's in a whole different dimension. She's in the actual original home of the Mind Flayer and the Demogorgons and everything like that. The upside down is just like a kind of like a whole different thing that was created scientifically. Weird, but you know, science, you know, things happen. But yeah, she's there, and she's in Vecna's mind that we learn, and so is Max. Max is trapped in Vecna's mind. That's why she was in the coma for 2 years. The boys, they're like sophomores now, so, but she does run into her, and she lets her know like, hey, it's me. I'm cool. I promise I'm not a monster. I know that Mr. What's-It? That's what Henry is going, like, he's going by the name Mr. What's-It in the children's mind, acting like he's nice, telling him, like, you know, he's nice, and there's going to be monsters that come and take you, but it's cool because I'm going to protect you, and we're going to go into a world that's really cool because this world's going to die. We're going to go far, far away where it's really cool, obviously. It's Cap.
Got the cap.
Because it's Henry. But yeah, he go by Mr. What's-It, and she's like, look, that man is Cap. Mr. What's-It is Henry. He's evil. Let me tell you what's really going on. And she actually believes her. She believes everything that she says when she runs into her and tell her the truth about everything. And we learn that inside of Vecna's mind, Max has been staying inside this cave for 2 years, and this is the one place in his mind that he will not go. So yeah, she's there safe and sound as long as she stay there. So I don't know, they're like, I guess they're like eating and using the bathroom and all type of stuff in his mind, even though they're not actually there, but you know, mind magic. What can you say? So yeah, that's going on. You know, she's telling her that we have to escape, we have to find our moment. I've been tried several times and I haven't. You know how this goes. Eventually, they're going to find their moment. And Max does. She eventually finds her moment. However, Holly does too. But she gets captured by Vecna. And then he also captures all the other 11, no pun intended, kids that's in her class that seen Mr. What's-It. Everybody, the Stars of Hawkins tried their best to try to keep them safe, keep them out the hands of Vecna. And they are unfortunately unsuccessful due to the fact that the Demogorgons come, and I mean, you're not going to fight a Demogorgon, so you just got to let them do their thing. So they take them, and he's got all his 12 people, all his 12 whatevers to finish doing whatever he needs to do to complete his task. You know, it's always something that Vecna just got to do. So yes, we do find out that Henry can tap into the Demogorgon and control them. He can be the eyes of Vecna. He can tap into him, and he can even control him. This is something that we learned on the last episode of Volume 1. They split this season into 3 seasons because it was the final season. I'm going to say 3 volumes because it was the final season. And I guess they just wanted to have people have anticipation and things like that. So they have, a high watch value and things like that. So, yeah, we learned that. And it's honestly, it's a great scene. It's really great. It's great seeing him just... it's amazing to see. It was definitely the hardest scene of the whole season. So yeah, it was great. It was great learning that. It was just amazing to see Will come into his power and knowing that now we have something new we can use to defeat Vecna. Vecna obviously isn't there when it happens, so I don't even know if he's even aware if he got these newfound abilities, but it doesn't matter to Vecna because he's just like, I'm stronger than you anyway, like I can take you. But yeah, he unfortunately is not successful enough during the time when the children are taken. This happens after the children are taken, so he couldn't lock into his abilities at the time that they were trying to take the children. And military's in the way per usual. They kill the military. Not them. The Demogorgons kill a lot of the military, set a lot of them on fire. The ones that live, they're very disfigured. It's horrible. Got Hopper and 11, they're down in the upside down, and they're taking down the military as well and trying to figure out what their secrets are, because they now have a station down in the upside down for some weird reason, and them being down there doesn't really do anything for the plot, honestly. But it is now being ran by a new doctor played by Linda Hamilton, aka Sarah Connor from Terminator. She's very evil, and no, she doesn't die. It's very annoying. But yeah, they soon learned that Elle's sister, I would say more of like sister in power, not her actual sister, is being held in this lab. Her name is Kali, and we did see her in season 2 for an episode 7 of season 2, where it was a soft pilot to a spinoff that they were going to do, but it just didn't really get that much watch value. A lot of people just didn't really like it, so they just decided not to go along with the pilot at all, or that storyline. So she just lasted there, and that was it. But we do learn that she was captured after the events of episode 7 in season 2, and they killed her friends, and from there on they was experimenting on her, torturing her, and taking her blood and finding pregnant women and infusing her blood into those pregnant women and into the babies of the pregnant women to create more psionic beings. Because other than 11 and other than her, who's number 8, 1, aka Henry, aka Vecna, killed all the other psionic beings that was in the lab. So yeah, they want to make more, but they're not making more to just be like, let's make them. They're not making more to be like, let's do it to stop Kali and 11. No, they're doing it because nuclear weapons. These are going to be their nuclear weapons. Military is always trying to create nuclear weapons, so that's what they're making it for. It's bad intentions and things like that. So we learned that, and then eventually everybody gets together after a time. Everybody, they all go through their own turmoils this season, but for the most part, most of the show consists of them all being together and trying to figure out how to stop Vecna, which they do. I'm not gonna get into this one too much because this one just aired, and I know everybody probably just watched this one. But they do find Vecna in the real home of the Mind Flayer and the Demogorgons, the Demodogs, and things like that. And like I said, everybody just go through their own turmoil. He sends Demodogs to try to kill Max unsuccessfully, thanks to Mama Karen Wheeler. Just all types of stuff. But Max comes back. She comes to. She makes it. She is not blind anymore. However, her being in the coma, it does have her, a little incapacitated for a while until she can grow back her strength. in her muscles, because being sleep and your body being limp for 2 years would definitely do that, and it would definitely take some days to get back to normal. But it does eventually, definitely by the end of the show. And so yeah, they all just bring the fight to him overall, and it was a good scene. The first hour of the last episode was a good scene, and then once he's defeated within the first hour, I know a lot of people are very upset about that, very upset about that. Everybody is pretty much just living their lives after that. Nobody important dies, which I'm glad. Nobody this season important dies, and we even make a new friend who helped us out a lot this season. His name is Derek, also known as Delightful Derek. He is a gem, and I do hope that that actor does get more work, because he definitely did his thing. So congrats to you. But yeah, he's dead. The Mind Flayer's dead. We learned that the Mind Flayer manipulated Vecna this whole time, was controlling him, and Vecna doesn't really fall for it. He's just like, it is what it is. That's my man's. Like, he needs me, I need him. I'm gonna still work with him. And they defeat both of them within the first hour of the season finale. Mind you, it was 2 hours, 7 minutes, and like within the first hour, they're both gone. So yeah, the rest of it is just them graduating. Yeah, it's 18 months later, so Max is back to normal. People who have relationships they're good now. Some people's hair is grown out, some people cut their hair. You know, they're living life. And the show ends with, you know, they save the kids. So Holly and her friends are downstairs playing D&D, and Lucas, Dustin, Will, and Mike, they're downstairs playing D&D as well, but they played before Holly and her friends. And it ends with, you know, him just looking at them as just like, this was us a few years ago, and 11, just him thinking about 11, because she sacrificed herself as Harper usually does, which I thought it was going to be him. She knows that the military wasn't going to stop looking for her if she didn't disappear. So yeah, she disappeared. Some people believe that she's dead. Some people believe that she's off someplace with 3 waterfalls like Mike promised her and things like that. But I'd like to think that she had a very much happy ending. She's alone in a new foreign place and things like that. And eventually, if it's meant for her and Mike to get back together in the future, then that's what it is. Military was not stopped, which was very underwhelming. But everybody else, they're happy. Will came out and everybody was super supportive for him. And he's now living in his true self. You know, he's talking to boys and things like that. Even Dustin is talking to girls, things like that. Lucas and Max are in game, so that's cool. Jonathan and Nancy aren't together, but they're still super really cool. Steve has found him a little boo thing now that he think is the one to have 6 little nuggets with. And Robin and her girl are still together. Joyce and Hopper are engaged now, and Murray's just doing his own thing, living a happy, good life. And just like that, the show is over. So now I'm going to rank my favorite and my least favorite. So my favorite season was season 3. I just loved everything about it. I know I said it earlier, but now we're just doing rankings. And I don't know, I would just really loved it. It was a really fun season. I really enjoyed everything about it, honestly. My second favorite season is season 2. It was just so different from season 1. It just seemed even more darker than season 1. We had Bob and we had the demo dogs, and just feel like we just added so much. The Mind Flayer, I feel like just added so much more to the story. It was great. So definitely is in second place for me. Third place, I would say, is season 1. It was the beginning of everything, the start of everything. It was something new that we got introduced to. It was set in the 80s, so it was definitely something new to look forward to. It was just great. It was dark. People died. We got introduced to these kids and the parents and the teenagers, and everybody just held their own and did a good thing. I mean, even Steve, who literally became one of the worst people on the show to one of the best people on the show, one of the most beloved characters on the show. And we got to see right there in the first season, right then and there, just the start of how he was going to be next season, and the season after that, the season after that, the season after that. So yes, number 3 is the first season for me. In fourth place comes season 4. It wasn't bad. The anticipation didn't really help with me placing it here. It was just that I enjoyed the first 3 seasons more than season 4. Like I said, it wasn't bad. It was great. They definitely had good episodes. Episode 4, the Dear Billy episode, was really good. It probably was my favorite episode of the season. But like I said, just Mike irritated me. 11 irritated me. The neglect of Will just irritated me. But everything else I liked about it. But other than besides that, it was just, those were the problems for me. But I think everything else is cool. The whole introducing Vecna, even though he's supposed to be there for the whole time, but just introducing Vecna now, it was just definitely I feel like we're dealing with a Nemesis, Thanos type of level threat. And it was just a great story and everything just came adding up. And going back into even 11's story, back before even the first season, was a great dynamic, so I enjoyed that. And coming in last place is season 5. A lot of it was very underwhelming. It had times where it was up and then times where it was just slow paced. And I'm not one of those people that's it's boring because it's slow paced. But if you watch my channel, then you know scenes that are too slow paced and they're just too long, they just feel unnecessary to be in a movie or a show at all. And I definitely think that we could have cut some scenes out, but I do think that Holly definitely came to her own and she did a good job bringing Max back to her regular self. I'm glad. Them having a happy ending, this is probably the only series finale where I've seen everybody have a happy ending, honestly. I know some people might say, but Mike is sad, he's not happy, his girlfriend's gone. He's 17, 18, he'll find another girl. And I know that his heart goes out to 11. But trust me, he'll find another girlfriend. He will be okay. His heart will always be with her, but he'll find somebody else to give his heart to. There's going to be some girl that picks up those pieces of his broken heart. So yes, he may not end happy, but he will be happy. I'm glad that nobody important died. I'm glad that we got a chance to defeat Vecna. Am I happy that we defeated Vecna so early on in the last episode? No, I'm very mad at Vecna about that because you could have definitely been a lot stronger. But they tapped into his humanity, and that was pretty much it. And once Will learned how to tap into his body, that was pretty much it. That was Murder, She Wrote right there. And Kali, I know she died. I definitely didn't want her to die, but she wasn't really that important to the story, so it doesn't really have an odd effect on me at all. So, I'm just glad that nobody important died despite them previewing 2 possible deaths. So, yes, I'm glad. But yeah, it was just the most underwhelming of all, and I think Duffer Brothers just probably got really tired. They've been dealing with this for so long, almost 10 years, like I said, and I think they were just so ready to just be done with it that they just didn't really pay attention too much to the story when it came to certain things. I know a lot of people say that there are a lot of unanswered questions, a lot of inconsistencies when it came to the very last episode, and a lot of people are actually very upset with the very last episode, and I don't blame them. It wasn't bad though. I'm just glad, like I said, that nobody important died and that basically everybody has a happy ending. So yes, that is my ranking for season 5. Now we're going to do favorite characters. Favorite characters, 100% the Sinclair siblings. Erica, Lucas at the top. And it's not just because I'm black, but it does have something to do with the fact that I'm black. But they're just amazing. Erica in itself has the worst mouth on this show. She can definitely make a grown man cry. She's amazing. I love Priya Ferguson and I love Kayla McLaughlin. Even when they're off screen, they have great chemistry outside of the camera, so they're great. I love Will. Will's always been so adorable to me. I've always loved Noah Schnapp. He's always been so adorable to me. So he's definitely one of my favorite. Mike, I didn't really like until season 5. He definitely grew on me this season, and I definitely have to add him. Dustin's always been iffy for me. He's out of 3. I would say he's definitely, out of 4 of the group, he's definitely like the Michelle. No offense to Michelle, no offense to Dustin, or no offense to Gaten Matarazzo at all. It's just that I know his character just didn't really hit for me. However, his acting in season 5 was superb, especially with his touching scene with Steve saying that he didn't want any more friends to die. That was amazing. That was great. And to really him being always happy and then them tapping into his bad boy side, his rebellious side, showing that he's affected by one of his friends' death was definitely great to see as well. When it came to his acting and the storytelling of it all. But I say Steve and Hopper are my other 2 favorite. Everyone else is just there. I love Joyce, Like, she's a great mom, but she's not one of my favorites. And then, like I said, everyone else just comes along after that. The death that hurt me the most in the show is Bob. I will never, ever, ever forgive the show for killing Bob off, even if him and Joyce did not stay together. And I know that's why y'all did it, because y'all wanted Hopper and Joyce to be together. Y'all didn't have to kill him off. He still could have been an asset. I mean, look at Jonathan, Steve, and Nancy. You know, I guess y'all just like, we're not gonna do a double triangle. We already have one. But he would have been a very much great asset to the team had y'all kept him alive. So I would never forgive y'all for that. It was very heartbreaking for me. I don't think I cried, but it was very heartbreaking for me. But that's the only death that really hurt me. It is messed up. I'll say Eddie is number 2. It is messed up that Eddie died. He was going to be an amazing part of the team as well. And no, he went in as one of those people from the city that didn't know anything about what was going on, but when he found out, he locked in and he did what he needed to do. He was great, and he complimented the team of teenagers so well. He would have been great, so I say that's the second one. Barb and Alexi, even Vecna, like, it was just deaths that just happened. They didn't really do much for me. However, I will say that seeing Vecna just convulsing that blood out as he's looking at Joyce and things like that, after everybody's just staring him down, after they all tag team him and the mind flayer, the large cluster, it did make me feel bad for him a little bit. And that even still knowing what we know about his secrets of the cave and him being shot in the hand and him killing that dude just out of a bit of a rage because he was scared because the dude shot him in the hand, and then him not being born with the psionic abilities, but him getting them and then letting it take over and control him and consume him into the evil he is today. And then just being tortured by Papa and him taking his blood and things like that, and him killing his family, which I don't know if he purposely, now knowing what I don't know if he purposely killed his family or not now, or that's just something that the Mind Flayer made him do at this point now. But regardless of what it is, you know, I felt bad for him knowing that he was never in charge this whole time. He was just a victim. So yeah, I would say seeing him convulse that blood up and seeing even his head being decapitated like that was definitely like, dang, it's actually kind of messed up, you know? But he's evil, it is what it is, and he gone. He was a pain in our ass, and he's gone. So yeah. Overall, it was a great show. I know that a lot of people, they have mixed feelings about Stranger Things, especially over the years, saying that it has a great decline. It is not a success. I don't know what y'all looking at, but Stranger Things has been successful since it dropped. I know that the longer it took to drop, the less interest of people have, but it's a great show overall. It's very nostalgic, not only just setting it in the 80s, but also bringing back people that actually acted in the 80s. I mean, even Winona Ryder herself, you know, it's even somebody that they added that is another legend. And so she's been acting since she was young. You know, she's been in a lot of movies, and a lot of y'all probably got on from that. I would say maybe Beetlejuice, or the second one, Beetlejuice, if y'all seen that one. But even having her as a main character, you know, it's definitely great. To see it over is heartbreaking, it's sad. I mean, I literally cried just thinking that, wow, this show's over. Like, the anticipation about all of this, and it just came so fast, and it left even faster. And now I just can't believe that I don't have a new show right now. I mean, that have episodes that's currently airing, because right now I'm going back and I'm rewatching Teen Wolf. But I mean, a new show that's having episodes is airing currently right now that I can watch, where I'm going to get that feeling. I know I'll find something. You know, they got Welcome to Dirt, but the season is over right now. You know, I did watch that, and my reaction to it on the first episode is up on my channel if you want to go take a look at that. But I'm just saying, like, I just remember those times, those days, you know, just thinking back at when I first started the show, when the feeling I got watching it, and thinking back at other shows that I watched even around that time and even before that time. And it's just every time one of my favorite shows ends, I just feel that void. And with this one now being over, I just feel that void and it doesn't feel the same. And I know eventually I'll go back and watch this show a couple years from now and just think back of the nostalgia and think back at the time. Now, remember we watched this opening night? Remember when we watched this the night it aired on New Year's Eve and on Christmas and, you know, things like that. But I definitely feel the void of it now. Not too bad. Like, I'm not like my mom. My mom is like super obsessed with this show and she's gone back and rewatched it a few times. I'm not like her, but like I said, you definitely feel the void. But overall, it's a great show, great writing. The Duffer Brothers did very well. Sometimes seeing this makes me think, like, with y'all minds, I don't know, like, maybe y'all trying to tell us something through this show, you know? But it's great, very nostalgic, and I can't wait to see what the Duffer Brothers have next for us. I know I hear this was me doing spinoffs. I think we should leave it here. Everybody had a happy ending. Let's not spin off with any of the characters. Let's just let them work and do their own things and make their own way. Some of them have definitely like on other projects already. So, you know, let's just let them find their own way and let the characters just end off happy and grow up. Like, we can just think of them as like people who just from this point forward just end up growing up, living happy lives, living normal lives and things of that matter, you know? But yes. So yes, I hope y'all all enjoy. I hope I didn't speak too much on it. Like I said, this could have been a reaction, but this was a leisure time show for me, so I rather wanted to do a review as well. You want to get a even better like full retrospective, then you know this ain't the channel for that. I just wanted to kind of sit down with y'all and just talk about Stranger Things, the whole series, you know, as a whole. Now that it's over and now that a lot of us have seen the finale. By the time this dropped, a lot of us should have watched it. I know not everybody watched it on the night that it aired, but by this time this video drops, a lot of us should have definitely have seen the finale. So I just wanted to give my opinion on it, you know, give my little summary, and that's a review right there, you know, my little review on it, and just talk about what I liked and what I didn't like. And yeah, it's definitely hurting to see it go, but I'm happy that I opened up the new year of this channel with Stranger Things because it is definitely one of my favorite shows on Netflix. So I think I opened up to a good start, and I'm actually glad that I opened up with a video where I can get glammed up, because I know my past couple videos, not that anybody cares, and thank goodness, I thank y'all for not caring, but past couple of my videos, I just kind of been putting makeup on, lipstick on and calling it a day. I really haven't been having the energy to get glammed up because it just takes even more time. But I kind of just went back and watched some of my old videos and was just like, oh girl, like you was cute. Like I definitely need to start getting glammed up more and wearing more clothes doing a lot of my videos again and things like that, because the aesthetic just looks nice. So yeah, but I do want to let y'all know that after this post, I'm going to be doing a couple of TV show pilots. Y'all know how I do a pilot, and usually it gets, you know, it's, you know, I always got this good amount of like 10 to like 50 subscribers that watch everything that I put out, and them I love so much. Thank y'all. Y'all are amazing. Y'all make this channel run. Those 10 to 50 subscribers that watch every video. I would not be where I'm at today because of y'all. So thank you. I mean, last year I really thought about quitting this channel. I really was about to give it all up. I did quit my gaming channel for a while, but I'm a gamer and I love playing games, and I just couldn't let it go. I just needed time to think about what I was going to do and I took a very hard break from it. I think I took like 3 months from it. So yeah, this channel, I can't really do that. I can't really take a break with this channel. Not that long, because I'm still on the road to 1K, and I got to at least get to my 1K first before I take, you know, at least a month off or something like that, you know. Even, y'all know, if y'all don't see me in a while, I'm at least post at least once a month. But I'm talking that like even a month from now, you don't even see me until the next month after. You know, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I gotta get to that 1K first before I decide that I want to take a month off or something and just collect myself for things like that, because this is a lot, and I'm still my own editor. I keep forgetting about the one editor that says she'll edit for me, but she's not used to editing this type of content, so I even myself will have to teach her how to edit this type of content and also edit to the style of how I already edit my videos, so it's a lot. But yeah, I thought about quitting this channel, but thanks to y'all 10 to 50 people that watch my videos every time I post. Y'all are the reason that I'm still going. My love for movies, my love for being in front of this camera, my love for recording, my love for doing things like this, putting stuff up on the wall and having this area and watching movies and seeing y'all see my reaction to these movies and these shows are the reason why I'm keep going. You know, I treat this like a hobby and not a job. So seeing y'all see me doing my hobby, doing what I love is the reason why I keep going. And yeah, so when we come back, we'll be looking at a few TV shows, pilots, and I mean, even if the episodes do great, I probably won't watch like the second episode on this channel. What I do is I just be finishing the shows by myself. I just kind of just like dropping pilots. However, I am thinking about binging Invincible instead of doing a pilot. I'll think about it. It depends on if I want to record that much, because the show is pretty long. But I'm also thinking about binging the second season of Hazbin Hotel. If you have not seen my binge video of me binging the first season of Hazbin Hotel, then you can go take a look on my channel now. It is under the playlist Binge Fest. So yeah, you can go take a look at that. I hope y'all enjoyed this review. We won't have too many of these at all. I think the next review will probably be maybe Euphoria after season 3 drop, because I don't know if I even want to react to Euphoria season 3, but we'll see. But there won't be too many of these at all, so you know, you just gotta, you know, every now and then I might do one on a movie that I watched on my own and then talk about it. But yeah, it won't be too many of these reviews on this channel. This is mainly a reaction channel, commentary channel. So yes, but thank y'all for watching. Happy New Year to everyone. God bless you all. Jesus loves each and every one of y'all, whether you decide to believe that or not. He does. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and the best next time I post. Follow the social medias, follow the gaming channel where we are streaming games over there from now on. I'm working on getting a camera over there, because right now I'm just streaming like no mic, no camera, but I'm still over there and I'm still playing. It's me on the controls over there. So yeah, we're gonna rebrand that channel and slowly just kind of fix this one up a little bit as well. And yeah, we made it our 3rd year and we made it into a new year. Congratulations to everybody that made it this far. Thank y'all for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.
Keep going, I can't let go. It's hard, but watch me grow. Ask God to heal my soul. Ask God to heal my soul. Keep moving, I gotta stay low. Not fast, I gotta go slow. Give it all till I can't no more. Give it all till I can't no more.